Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to Interview with the Man, episode 596. Jay Waller interviews Modern Life Dating, part 2. We're going to get this all done today. No stone unturned. And then at the end of the show, I got to tell you guys something. We got something coming up here.
Let's get ready to rumble!
I have got an exclusive story that is, trust me, it is only available and worthy to be seen on Rumble. It's going to be at the end of this. Stay tuned. Stay here. We got a long show for you today.
Make money, make muscles, learn game. If you're listening to me, you're a hot dude. The hot dude life is not about your physical appearance. The hot dude life is a mentality. The Hot Dude Army is a global network, and the Hot Dude Army is everywhere. Decrease your judgment of others and increase the judgment of yourself. You belong to the streets, huh? 100%. It starts with learning dating, and then you move on to something to push humanity forward. That is the philosophy of modern life dating. This is a textbook example of really good game.
We're back, baby. Good to be here. Happy fucking Tuesday to you all. We got a great show. We're bopping off here, guys. Don't forget, at the end of today's episode, we are going hard on Rumble. I'm going to save everything because I've just came across something that's just hit my desk. And I got to say, it is just like, I can't even express myself because I'll just be banned into oblivion. But believe you me, we are going into it deep on Rumble today. My moderators, they are equipped with the Rumble link. And at the end of the show, when they hear this,
let's get ready to rumble!
that's the sign that we're rallying the troops from YouTube and we're doing the Rumble raid and we're heading over to Rumble where I'm going to be broadcasting everything. So don't you forget, we got something big coming up on December 29th. We are 9 days away. We have 50 plus people on the waiting list. Honestly, honestly, the waiting list is probably at 60, 70 something. I honestly to be honest, guys, I haven't checked on it. I know that it grows every single day. And I know what I bring to the table is the table and more. Like the quality of the webinars that we're about to go through. Listen, I'm taking my time and curating the people who are going to be on this webinars. And we have got some serious bangers coming from the Masculine Empowerment Network. December 29th, okay? December 29th. The Masculine Empowerment Network goes live for enrollment, okay? You are not going to want to miss out on this. Okay. What we have is huge. It is like no other masculine empowerment we've ever done before. And the only way for you to get access is you must go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com, put your best email address in right here, and click here to get on the waiting list. What does that get you? Okay, listen, it gets you the absolute upper level access directly to me, MLD, and I've got a tentative announcement. Sit tight. I got some good news. I'm gonna trickle it out, but you really got to be paying attention this morning, okay? So when you sign up for the Masculine Empowerment Network, this is what you get. First things first, you get access to my course, The Dark Pass Harem. This is a course that shows you how to date, manage, seduce, and control multiple women so you can get them to do your bidding. You can learn female nature, understand what's going on with them in their minds, and have yourself a team of women who are going to love you, sex you up, take good care of you, and help you on your journey of success. Notice I said journey of success because women won't do this if you're a loser. If you're sitting around jerking off playing video games all day, you're fucked, okay? Stop doing that. You're going to get access to that. That's going to be at least hour, 2 hours of like literally I cannot play that on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to curate a couple of modules. I'm filming it this Thursday morning, but man, oh man. Wow. It's going to be good. This is my best work ever. Number 2, you're going to get 20 webinars with experts in money, muscles, game, and frame. Okay. And we just have the updated schedule right now. Okay. I'm going to pull this up for you and show you the updated schedule right now here. And let's crack this open, shall we? Let's go back to the main screen. There it is. I had the older one open. There we go. Okay, here we go. We just added this here. Okay, so you take a look. Starting on January 9th, okay, Monday morning, this YouTube channel will have no live streams, nothing going on because I'm getting in there and I'm showing up on time for my webinars because I'm a professional. And then I am going to be here and I'm going to be running these webinars and seeing everybody to their success one by one. I don't care how many men it takes. I don't care if I have to work so hard that I go balder than Richard Cooper. I am here to be your friend. I'm here to be your ally, and I'm here to help you guys out. This is what we're doing. You can see the color coordination, money, muscles, game, and frame. The newest one we had so far, Proud Masculine, is coming back. Great guy, Giga Chad, natural alpha guy. And he's going to talk about how to recover from a breakup. Because listen, this happens, right? Okay? This things happens. You're going to have a situation in life when you got to get rid of a girl. And all these guys pretending to be fake alphas on the internet. Oh, it never hurts me. And I'm just, oh, fuck that bitch, bro. Oh, that girl's never anything to me, dude. They're all full of shit. They all suffer. They all feel pain. And we're going to show you how to go through this correctly, how to heal from it, how to learn from it, and how to get out there and attract an equal or greater mate in the future. Guys, I'm 37 years old, and the women I date as the years go on just get hotter and hotter. I get older, they just stay the same age. Okay. Inner Masculine has updated his title. So Inner Masculine is going to be talking about inner game and frame. Monday night, conquer your fear and move forward. We're going to be talking about removing limiting beliefs for you guys that just feel stuck. You feel like you're stuck in the mud. You feel like there's something wrong with you and you can't put your thumb on it. That is subconscious psychological trauma holding you back. And we're going to show you how to clear that out and really maximize your life. Googs is going to be there. Principles of Strength and Conditioning. Red Pill Thor is going to be on the 12th and actually also the 17th. This is just like I said, we're using this as a little pre-booking. We're going to finalize that as the schedule is going to get better and better. And I also will be giving a lot of presentations. People have been requesting from me. Honestly, they've been requesting a money, game, and frame from me. So I will be giving presentations as well. And guys, I want to let you know, these presentations are not pre-recorded bullshit. We're like, oh, just listen to Rollo Tomasi and you're going to be an alpha male. No. Okay. This is in-depth presentation given live. And the first half of the webinar is dedicated to education. The second half of the webinar is dedicated to answering your questions that are pertaining to the webinar at hand. But if you do have other questions, that's okay as well. All right. Googs is a motherfucking tank of a man. Just so you guys know, Googs is about 6'4", 250 pounds. And he's not fat. He is fucking built. This man is a literal killing machine. He's a high-level person in the United States military. Can't go into any more details because he wants to be anonymous. But believe you me, this guy knows the principles of strength and conditioning. He's going to be talking about how to get strong, how to really achieve that alpha male body that you're looking for. Inner Masculine is back on Friday night talking about healing painful core beliefs. Sometimes when we're raised, you know, your parents say, oh, you can never do something. You're Asian, you're black, you're Indian, you're white, you can never dance, whatever. Sometimes they become a lot more deeper, okay, and a lot more hurtful. So healing painful core beliefs is going to be covered as well. Googs is back the next week. Red Pill Leadership Principles. Trust me, he knows a lot about leadership. Wraith is going to be doing a Q&A based upon frame questions you have on the 13th, or excuse me, the 19th tonight. Mark Daniels, Mark's Inspirations, talk about the value of persistence. Okay. All of these will be recorded every single day. So if you miss them, you're going to get to watch the recording. And in addition to that, you get access to the database where these are stored. And previous iterations of the Masculine Empowerment Network were also stored. That's completely free. You literally get 3 years worth of coaching completely for free. 200 hours plus of past webinars. These feature people like Rollo Tomasi, Donovan Sharp, Ryan Stone, Troy Francis. Hell, even Richard Cooper was in there. Myron Gaines, before he was even Myron Gaines. Joe from Proud Masculine. Inner Masculine, Hypnosis for Men. The list goes on and on and on. You get access to a secured Telegram chat. We're going to be able to teach you guys how to maximize your communication with other men who are out there doing it with you. We are taking this beyond some internet shit-talking culture that a lot of the red pill has quite frankly become. And we are going to show you that there are men out there making serious big bucks, doing great things in their life. And there are just so many opportunities for you to link up with like-minded men, link up with millionaires, link up with people who are doing big things in this world with a red pill lens. So you don't have to fucking censor yourself or, you know, just be around a bunch of people you don't want to be around. The newest thing, we're adding a 3 end of month checkup calls where we're going to do group sessions at the end of January, February, and March, where we're going to check up on everybody, see how everybody's doing their goals and whatnot, and direct interaction and mentoring with me, MLD. Okay. So all of that and more is available at the website I showed you earlier today, and the moderator is going to put in the chat right here. Masculine Empowerment Network. Go here.
Take my money.
Literally, go here right now. MasculineEmpowermentNetwork.com. Put your best email address in here. Click here to get on your waiting list. It's free. You come on down. I'm going to be sending out some emails this week as well. There's little freebies, little bonus, little tips and tricks to help you guys get your lives on the path that you want them to be, right? And you're not going to want to miss out on that. So go right now, get on the waiting list because it is going to be lit. Okay. Tentative announcement. So I have an announcement. It is not 100% solidified yet. So we could do a couple of things. Okay. We can make the announcement now and may or may not change, Or you can wait for it to be solidified, and then I can make the announcement whenever. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 is for make the announcement now. 2 is for make the announcement when it's ready. Go. I want everybody voting. Every single one of you. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Here we go. All right, votes are starting to come in. Now, over there on Rumble, we got people joining and voting on Rumble. Looks like I'm getting shadow banned here on YouTube, of course, because they are, shocked. All right, so we got everybody here voting. The majority of people said, Mike said, so Yahoo said 1. Titus Bear said 1. So that's right down the middle. 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Rufus Lee says 2. Okay.
Shut up and take my money.
And then shout out to these super chats I just got. I'm going to come read these in a second. Okay, here's the deal. I went to the doctor today. Okay. It's kind of serious. And I was feeling a little ill. And I told the doctor, I think I got a fever. And the doctor said, the only way to cure that fever is Hot Dude Con. That's right. We are having, tentatively speaking, end of January and February, we are looking at Miami, Florida, meetup location number 1. Orlando, Florida, meetup location number 2. And the debut of Hot Dude Con Europe. For all my European homies out there, we're trying again. Hot Dude Con London, England. All right. So that's correct. Hot Dude Con Miami, end of January. Hot Dude Con Orlando, end of January. Hot Dude Con London, England. That is within the first 2 weeks of February. It's going to be awesome. We get to meet each other. I love doing these meetups. So what it's going to be an in-person meetup where we are gathering. We're going to have a couple speakers, presentations, and we're going to get together. We're going to go out and eat, and it's going to be a good time. And you get to meet me, and I'll get to meet you, and we'll really just get to really hash out all the problems you have and really just kind of elevate your life in any way possible. So, only way you're going to be able to get this, though, is by staying tuned to this channel, because we are rocking and we are rolling, right? So, that is the announcement. Let's catch up with these super chats, and we're going to jump right into today's episode. Rex Mains, $4.99. Today's my birthday. Hey, happy birthday to you, brother. Just want to say thank you for being a great model for men around the world, changing lives. Thank you so much. Really, really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I hate that I'm like leaning over just the microphone. It's such a bad habit. I need to sit up straight. Look at me. I look like I live in London. That's a politically correct way to say that. Look at this. Oh my God. I have not cut my hair. Obviously you can see, look at this. My hair is just so thick. Good Lord. Those Turkish people did a wonderful job. Look at this. Look at this hair. Unbelievable. My beard is just out of control too. I'm going to go tomorrow to the barber and have it all fix me up. Anyways. Thank you so much, Rex Mains. Brandon M, $5 super chat says, men is a great investment. Got the courage to push for a promotion and a major raise. Getting my health in order now. That is awesome, brother. That is great to hear. Mark Collins says, Rich Cooper needs to go to Istanbul. Rich Cooper's too afraid to leave Canada. I feel like Rich Cooper is working for Justin Trudeau. Okay. I feel like he is. I feel like he is in cahoots because he's just a scared little boy, scared little chicken shit. Anyways, so let's go back to the episode. And shout out to the homies on Rumble. 45 people watching live on Rumble. Look at me. I'm getting shadow banned off my fucking dick right now on YouTube. This is literally less than 1% of my subscribers are tuning in right now. And honestly speaking, holy shit. YouTube, you guys fucking suck dick. Seriously, what in the proper fuck? This shadow banning shit is out of control. And I'm just going to talk about this for a second. You guys have to understand what shadow banning is. And we collectively, as a human race, need to voice our hatred for shadow banning, because these large establishments, these large governments, these large corporations, they always bend the knee when the people come together. So I'm just saying this so you guys can be awakened and enlightened with what's happening right now. The shadow banning is real. It is absolutely happening on my channel because I recently got a community guideline strike. And they saw I got to 10 million views on one of my, look, I got 10 million. How many YouTubers get 10 million views on one of their videos? How many? Please go see it. Okay. Let alone a channel like as small as mine. Okay. So help bypass the shadow ban right here. Billy, the head moderator, is saying this. Bill, right there. Click on that link to get in the Telegram alerts channel for whenever I go live. You will be informed. Okay. So let's go back to my body language brother, Mr. Justin Waller, mimicking each other's body language the whole show. It's pretty funny. That means we like each other. And let's go back. Let's pick up to where we left off. This was when I was in Miami. Look at that hairline. Pathetic. I got that alpha hairline now, baby. We're going to do is we're going to continue where we left off. I was a little bit of a chubbier there too. I lost some weight. I'm so proud of myself. And we're going to pick up where we left off, why I wanted to go to Japan, and then my take on why I went into Japan. And you guys may or may not have heard about this story, but it's a little wild. Pay attention for you guys. When yesterday we were talking about, guys who are having struggle, feeling like a man or not. This is a very important part of this conversation. Let's go.
I don't know how to shave. Eric taught me both.
Did you connect those skill sets to masculinity?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look back and think that's probably a mistake, or at least at minimum not true.
I was just so lost from what masculinity was, that things that even represented it. I thought that, okay, I should do this, lifting weights, joining ROTC, wrestling,
right?
Learning to fight, talking to girls. The girls part, I was never one of these guys like, oh, I lost my virginity when I was 24 because I found the red pill. That wasn't me, right? No, that part was fully operational. Yeah. But it was the money, beliefs, and the masculinity that made me feel, am I man enough? So I always would, I know this probably sounds crazy, but I started researching manhood, right? And I noticed that in every culture, they did the rite of passage, multiple cultures, So I came up with this idea, right? And I said to myself, all right, I want to be a man. So I'm going to make my own rite of passage because I don't have a dad. And I'm going to make my own test. And if I pass this masculinity test for myself, I'm going to consider myself a real man. So the test was go to Japan, survive for 2 years with no help from anybody. And if I were to achieve this, then I would be a real man. I know it sounds fucking crazy. I don't think most people do this in their lives, but it was just such an internal struggle for me that I really wanted to prove to myself, because at that time I graduated. I worked at Aon Hewitt, which was like a multi-billion-dollar insurance company. I had gotten performance reviews in the 95s, 96, 97 percentile. I had a side business, and I worked part-time in security at this ritzy club, which was just basically escorting people out because they're acting like bad. It was nice enough to okay, come on, you gotta get out. Yeah, and they wouldn't fight back, Yeah. And so I had all these, I had girls, I had money, I had everything, but I just felt so empty. And I had a group of friends that made fun of me when I wanted to go to Japan. They would always tease me and and I realized they weren't my real friends later, but they would just make fun of me and tease and be like, how do you say that in Japanese? Are you gonna eat sushi every day over there?
Right.
So it discouraged me from pursuing it, and I stopped it. And I started feeling bad about myself. And then that gut feeling that I had come in when I just knew staying at that job would be suicide. So I decided okay, I am going to just give up this Japan dream. But then that feeling came back. So remember it was so strong. One day, I just remember in the middle of the day, it was just eating me up. It was eating me up, and it would not leave me alone. It was like 11 a.m. I was like, all right, here we go. Fuck it. Stood up. I grabbed my protein shaker. I grabbed my jug of protein. I grabbed my keys. I went up to this manager that I really liked. She was hot. I was like, hey, her name's like Nicolette or something. I was like, Nicolette, I'm sorry. I'm quitting. I gave her a hug. I kissed her on the cheek. I walked out and I went home. And they were like frantically calling me to come back because I was good at my job. And the recruiter also wanted me to go out. But I was like, sorry, I can't. I had quit my job on that day, like in February 2012. And then I started aggressively applying to jobs in Japan. So I quit in February. And on November 4th, 2012, I touched down in Tokyo, Japan with a job and house ready for me to get this journey going.
And if you guys remember that day that I quit the job of from the story right there, that's when I sat down and I'll just tie it all together for you real quick. So I quit my job, right? Then I went home and I made a YouTube video, and this is about 10 years ago now, right? And so actually here, I'll just show you this real quick. So I'll just kind of show you quickly to kind of add a little flavor to the story. This is my YouTube video from that day. Check it out.
World, or as I like to call it, modern day slavery. Now, today was probably either one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life or one I'll regret soon. Stay tuned and you'll find out. But today I quit my job in the corporate world, and it has been the most liberating feeling of 2012. And the reason I don't like corporate life, there are a slew of them, and it all starts down to one thing. You have no freedom. They want you to be a robot.
I was escaping the Matrix before the escape from the Matrix was even cool, boys. Just want to throw that out there.
They want you to do what they say, when they say it, how they say to do it, approximately exactly when they want it done. You have no say. You comply or you leave, and you will be fired. And that's just not something I want. I'm not a robot. That's something a robot does. I'm a human being. I have passion, and that's why I left today. I just had it. My passions are to entertain you, my loyal followers, however many I may have. But Hollywood Hog would love me. And I just got to say that for some reason you have a job, you don't like it, you just don't want to deal with it. If you have the means to leave it and you're unhappy, leave. Time is the most important asset we have in life. Now, I'm only 26. I don't know that much about life, but I will tell you that I do know that being happy is very important. And if you can do so logically, do it. I just don't understand the whole corporate life thing. 40 hours a week, that's a lot of time. Not to mention the time you have to put before and after, the time you take to get to work, to get back, to prepare for work, to unwind from work, all that factors in. 8 hours a day, that's 1/3 of your day gone. 1/3. Because according to scientists, you're supposed to sleep for 8 hours, minimum of 6. That means you have about 8 hours of freedom in the day, which you also have to tend to other aspects of your life, your personal life, all these other things. So it's just not good. It's not good. They give you a name tag. They tell you what to wear, what not to wear, what's acceptable. It's just, I don't know. I see it personally as modern day slavery. They brand you with an ID card. They tell you you have to abide by the rules. There's a process where I used to work called adherence. You had to adhere at a certain percentage. You had to adhere at least 90% of the time. And, it's not me. So I want to hear what you guys think.
So that was the day that I quit corporate America. That was 10 years ago on February 23rd, 2012. And then on November 4th, 2012, that's when I touched down into Tokyo, Japan. And here we go. Let's go back to the story here. That's what I was talking about.
That's a big gap in months.
Yeah.
The months in between.
Yeah.
Nervous. Did I make the right decision? Second guessing.
So I was just talking shit the whole time. I was like, fuck everybody. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I was just talking shit to everybody because they're all telling me no. Now the kind of somebody tells me no, I'm like, good, you're just fueling the fire.
Right.
Like, I'm looking forward to proving you wrong.
Which is a red pill moment for you, against the grain in many ways. Quitting the job, quitting security.
Yeah.
Don't want to do something you want to do.
Yeah.
Going through your own agagi, if you will.
Yeah.
You would set up for yourself.
Yeah.
So you touched down Japan.
But yeah, those months in between, I was working. I kept the security job. I was selling mattresses and sofas on Craigslist. And I even think
Craigslist hustle.
Yeah, I was hustling on
Nice.
Craigslist, selling refrigerators.
It's real, bro.
Yeah, I would pick it up off the free section and sell it right back on the site.
Uh-huh.
And I would charge them for delivery. I would call them a delivery and installation fee.
Yeah.
You know, so people could pick up the phone, look at something, and say, "Yeah, I want it," and I would put it in a truck and deliver it to them.
Right, or go pick it up in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you do that in the meantime, and then you land. Give me day one in Japan.
As soon as I get off the plane, I'm like, fuck, I fucked up.
Did you?
Yeah, I got off the plane, I was like, I talk all that shit, and now I'm fucking stuck in this country. I don't know anybody.
Wow.
I had $2,500 in my pocket. I was 26 years old. I get off the plane, and I'm just like, damn, I fucked up.
Really?
I was terrified. And then I couldn't get a hold of my agent because she was this like fucking sloppy Chinese lady. And I'm in the middle of Tokyo. I got no contact to find my hotel booked through this company.
So you're still sitting at the airport?
Yeah. And then I finally get to a taxi driver. I find this translator and I just type in hotel and I show it to him. He takes me to a hotel. I check in and then I send the lady an email through my phone because I have Wi-Fi. I was like, bitch, where the fuck are you? Like, I am in this country I've never been to. I am lost. I am alone. I have $2,500. Like, I had too much pride too. I had too much pride. I was like, there's no way I'm going home because everybody's gonna make fun of me. And I bought a one-way ticket. I had burned the ships on the way over there. I turned over my Tacoma back to the dealership. I was like, sorry, I just can't pay it. I called him. I said, the car's in this parking lot in this area. I said, the keys are in the dashboard. Sorry, I can't pay. Take it back. Giving up my apartment. I put an ad on Craigslist, put my house in the free section. I said, everything in my house is for free. I'm moving to Tokyo. This white trash family from like the trailer park area came out in like this, like Saab station wagon, loaded up everything in the back of the car.
Damn.
Took it out. So I had just gone ballistic. And now I'm in Tokyo with everything I own in a suitcase and $2,500 in my pocket. And I can't find to contact this lady. Long story short, she found me and then I went through the training and then started working as an English teacher in an English teaching school in Japan, in Saitama, Japan, north of Tokyo.
So you walk into, you're used to American schools.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into a Japanese school.
Yeah.
Does it look like an American school?
So I wasn't working in a school. I was working in an English teaching school. So that's a hustle in Asia. It's like you go to these English teaching academies. So you have like the Burger Kings, the McDonald's, and the Wendy's of English teaching schools. Right. So I was teaching one of those, and yeah, I met Japanese people, and the Japanese are just very, very calm, sophisticated, classy society. Very high IQ.
Really?
Yes.
Emotional intelligence.
Everything. I mean, one of the biggest social faux pas you can do in Japanese culture is disturbing the social grace of the atmosphere, the peace, right? Acting out or having a moment of drama or whatever is like so frowned upon.
Yeah, like super taboo.
It's like the equivalent of dropping the N-word here. Like you're like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, do not do this.
Stay graceful.
Yes. Yeah. Don't disturb the peace. Even if you feel bad, Japanese person will look you in the eye and lie. Be like, what they'll do is, he's like, hey, give me your phone number. And they're like, yeah. Like we should hang out sometime. Like, yeah. Totally. I love this part. We'll do it. They'll just say yes. And then they'll ghost you. Man or woman. They're just trying to keep the peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just being in this such highly civilized culture after coming from America and being kind of a barbarian myself, like I really saw another side of life. And I was happy I was making money. I got hired at Honda. They were paying me $80 an hour for part-time teaching their motorcycle engineers English. So I was starting to get a taste of a little bit of some money. At that time, I just turned 27.
What year is this?
This is now 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, I touched on November 4th, 2012. I had my main job, and then I scored the Honda gig in 2013. And my path of the rite of passage is going strong. I'm a strong man.
Are you feeling more masculine?
I am feeling more masculine.
Are you?
I'm feeling like a man. I'm feeling
When
like a
did you
badass.
see your first hot Asian chick?
So I don't remember that because hot Asian chicks everywhere. But I'll tell you about the first Japanese girl I slept with. And this evolved into something.
Were you in a Pentecostal church?
I was not.
Okay, you gotta wrap that straight.
She was my manager at the English teaching school.
You just can't go outside of the shit you're supposed to do.
I'm like a busy man. I fuck what's near me.
Okay.
So I had heard to the grapevine she was moving to Hawaii. And I was like, so I can bang her and she will just get on a plane and get out of my life.
Because you have aberrations from the past of bang girl that stays around, I get kicked out.
Right, exactly.
Cool. Exactly. Strategy. I don't know about this, John. Proceed.
So I bang her. We go on a date. I end up sleeping with her. So at that time, I like was red pill, but I didn't know there was levels of the red pill, right?
Were you aware of what the red pill was?
Yeah, already.
Okay, cool. So you were watching like Rollo and...
No, this was before Rollo was even online. This was 2013, 2012. How'd you know? The red pill forums. Somebody would told me about it.
Were you on like Reddit?
Yeah.
Really?
Before
all that shit.
Yeah, before it went south. The red pill was good, I would say, on Reddit, like 2010, 2011. After that, it just started to sink quickly. Okay. And so I had read what these dorks were doing. I was like, you guys are fucking dorks. Like, I was already doing, but I figured that was the name for what I was doing. I was like, oh, so I'm a red pill guy, like, whatever. So I start fucking her, but then I start catching feelings. She starts catching feelings for me too. And I knew, like, the first night I linked up with this girl, I was so like just ready to fuck too. I fucked her like 6 times in one night. I remember I was just like, because at that time I'd just been going to the gym, working, and then trying to crack the code with Japanese girls. So, you know, I was fucking her a lot. And then we both started developing a lot of feelings for each other, right? So what ended up happening was I started talking to somebody, like, there was rumors going around about why she was going to Hawaii, and she was going to Hawaii for another guy. And then I realized, like, when we were around, she would sometimes be like texting a lot on her phone, right? So one time she went and took a shower in my place, and her phone was buzzing, and I picked it up, and I was like, there's this guy texting her named Ivan. He's like, I can't wait for you to come to Hawaii. I can't wait for you to come to Hawaii. So I got in the shower with her. I was like, who is Ivan? She's like, what? Her face like lit up.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are you asking me that? I was like, who's Ivan? And then she's like, okay, let me tell you a story. So then the year before, she had gone to like the Hawaii training program for the English teaching school, and she worked in Hawaii. She had a boyfriend at the time.
Mate switching whore.
But when she went to Hawaii, she met this guy over there, and she had like an affair with him and got this big Hawaii dream and everything, right? So she came back to Japan, and then she was like, okay, I'm gonna fucking dump my boyfriend. I'm gonna surprise this guy. I'm gonna move to Hawaii and show up. So she had still kept the boyfriend around as the backup. She had her plan to get the job. She got the job, and then she had everything ready, and she told her current job in Japan she was quitting. And then she told the guy in Hawaii that I just want to let you know I'm coming to Hawaii. I canceled everything already. And he was like, oh, I have a girlfriend. And so yeah, so she felt like an idiot, and then I was hitting on her. So there was this little love triangle going on.
Yeah.
So she and I liked each other. She ended up moving to Hawaii, and I was like, we'll just do long distance. I'll be your long distance boyfriend. I started banging one of these students at the school as well. This was hot fucking 20-year-old. And I was 27, and she loved me. You know, she was just always about everything about all I was about. Like, she would always bring me snacks to lessons. She would always invite me out. She was just down for me.
Would you identify the long-term relationship as a mistake, knowing what you knew, seeing the cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total mistake. No, it gets better. So I get busted cheating somehow. I forget how she does it, but she finds out I've been cheating, so I feel terrible.
With Ivan?
So no. no.
Okay.
No, not with Ivan. But
she caught you.
Yeah, but she caught me, but I also caught her doing something. So
okay.
I had decided.
Sounds like these Japanese bitches are scandalous, bro.
I think bitches in general are scandalous, but this was a scandalous situation that I should have just pumped and dumped and treated like how she was.
Okay.
So
I might need a drink. I might start to feel sad about this.
Oh, it gets good.
All right.
So I get caught cheating. So I'm like, baby, I'm sorry. I'm gonna come out to Hawaii. Right. So I go out to Hawaii, and I remember I stayed in Hawaii for like, I think I was there for 11 days. It was my first time being in Hawaii. So I'm in Hawaii. I'm with a hot Japanese girl, having sex every day. She's coming home from work. She's making me tacos. We're hiking. We're going to the beach. We're doing all this stuff. It's awesome, right? And then I go back home. But before I go home, I'm like, I need to set up a contingency plan on this bitch. She had just got an iPhone, and she had just got a MacBook Pro. And she's like, I need you to help me set up my Apple ID. I was like, sure thing. So I set it all up, and I set up Find My iPhone on my phone to track her location when she was back. Because I had these like little nagging doubts about her, right? So one time, she usually had to walk home from work. And one time she was walking home, and she had started walking off this path, like walking off her.
You were watching this every day?
Not every day, but when I would check once in a while, right? And one day, like, there was an anomaly in the data. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? She was walking down the IWAM Canal. I was like, she never walks around the IWAM Canal. And so I called her that day, and she didn't pick up when she was walking off. And then I FaceTimed her, and I started FaceTiming her a bunch of times, back. And I was seeing that, and then I was tracking her go back to her apartment. So she finally calls me back on FaceTime. But before she did, she changed her shirt. She went into the shower. She wet her hair, and she put a towel around her neck. And she answered the FaceTime, like drying her hair, like saying, like, hey, like, what's going on? I was taking a shower. Yeah. And I was just like, I knew she was lying to me without a shadow of a doubt. And I was just like, wow, this bitch is evil. Like, she is. And I was like, I want to see how evil she is. So I kept slightly pushing for the truth, and then she held her ground. And I was just like, damn, this bitch is fucking treacherous. And I was like, where were you? You're fucking lying to me. And I was just like, I know you're lying to me. Where were you? And then she was like, oh, okay, fine. I was walking with Ivan, the guy that she moved to Hawaii with. Yeah. So he'd been creeping on her, right?
And that right there is when I really kind of got like deeply red pilled on like female deception. Guys, let me tell you something. These bitches lie like rugs, okay? Not all of them. They're not all bad out there. But you have to understand that women are really, really, really good liars. And you can do one of two things, right? Like in your frame statement, which we're going to be talking about, developing a frame statement in the Masculine Empowerment Network. Go get on the waiting list right now. The thing is this. Okay. humans lie in general, right? But women are really, really good liars. They're really, really good manipulators and liars and dog shit, right? And so that being said, when you like blatantly catch a woman in a lie, like it's honestly, it's in your best interest just to let her go. Because the thing is this, right? Why are you having sex with a woman? 9 times out of 10, it's either fun or to build a relationship, right? What is the backbone of all relationships? Trust. What's the number one thing you can do to destroy trust? Lie. So how can you build the foundation of a relationship, trust, with a person who is a fucking liar? And I made the mistake this time in my life and, dealt with this fucking shit from this lying ass hoe. And what's funny is like I found her on Instagram like a couple months ago, and I just sent her a friend request just to show her, hey, you missed the boat. Enjoy your stay in the middle class. It was good. It was a red pilling moment, and I was 27 when that happened. 27. Because I've been through the trenches by this age, guys. Through the fucking trenches. You're gonna hear this funny part of the story coming up right now.
So she was like, when she told me that, I was like, damn, you fucking bitch, are you serious? And I was so mad, right? So I was so mad that when you log in on iCloud to iPhone, okay, you can play my sound, you can lock the device, or you can completely delete all the data on both devices.
Yeah.
So you probably understand which option I went for.
You nuked her.
I nuked her phone and I nuked her laptop. Everything was gone off of it. They were both.
Oh man, it was fucking hilarious. I deleted everything off of her laptop. I deleted everything off of her phone. Completely locked the phone up. I deleted it and then I locked it. And she's like a retard. She's like, she ended up losing pictures of her family and her grandfather who died and shit. And I was like, well, bitch, maybe you should not be such a treacherous whore. Okay. Don't do that shit.
Factory locked after that. So she had to take it to Apple to have them, do everything, reset it from the beginning. She's like, I lost all my family photos. I lost all this.
Did she know it was you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I told her, I was like, I was tracking you on your iPhone. And that's when she got busted. And then what'd she do? She flipped the whole, how dare you invade my privacy, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, now she's Western.
Yeah. And so that happened. And then we had like broken up, right? So I had this other girl at the time. She was half Brazilian. She was half Japanese. She was smoke show. And this girl was taking care of me, spending time with me all the time, having sex on demand. I was a bum too. I had no money, nothing. I was hooking up all these hot girls. Another student of mine at that time, she was like 20. I was 27. She was 37. So she had money. So she would take care of me. I would have sex with her a lot.
Bro, I say this about women in their 30s, bro. If you're a young guy, hook up with chicks that are older than you because they got snacks at their house, bro.
Yes.
I used to do that in college a lot, bro. Old girls have snacks, man. Awesome. After that first divorce.
She had money. She was going to buy me this $300 winter jacket from Zara, and she loved me. So the breakup that we went through, it happened in like November or whatever, right? And then in December, I don't know, at that point I just really missed her. I feel like I messed up, right? So I hit her up again and I was like, I don't know, let's walk through this or whatever. Let's talk through it. And
it's the girl that you called on the iPhone.
Yeah. Bro. And then turns out she went and banged that guy Ivan.
Of course.
Right?
You were FaceTiming her 800 times.
Yeah.
No,
she didn't bang him that event.
Yeah, I know, but after progression, pushing her away.
Yeah.
Chasing.
I think nuking the iPhone and the computer really.
Well, it's showing the emotion in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You think showing the emotion is solidifies it?
I think allowing a woman to extract weak emotion out of you is a quick way to make her look elsewhere. Yes, absolutely. So if we were to like break down what happened, you like, and you're a young guy, right? So obviously, clearly you wouldn't do that today, but you would have cut her off at the text message. You wouldn't even got in the shower. You'd had her pack her shit, right?
Yeah.
And then she would have probably never talked to him again if you could have stayed no contact and firm in it. And then in regards to FaceTiming her, calling her, and her knowing that you did those things, probably made her feel some sense of insecurity. And then the fact that you were so angry and emotional with her that you nuked her, let her know that she could penetrate your emotion. And so since women are generally the ones that are emotional, and I always believe that a man's job is to be the mountain that a woman's emotional waves crash into, because if you're not, then she could just have girlfriends or whatever, right? So we've all made the mistake of calling a girl too many times. That I would say to any young guy is a mistake, because that is the thing that will drive her away from you. And which is why I'm so certain that you wouldn't do that today, because you would be in so much abundance that you could throw her away.
That, I think, being at that time, being isolated in Japan, And that was like my only real source of love at the time.
Yeah.
I think that's what made me kind of, and I was also very, very just emotionally erratic in my youth. You know,
It goes back to that discipline thing, right?
yeah, exactly.
And so you were in an atmosphere where emotions were thrown everywhere all the time.
From my dawn of my existence until that point.
Right. So without having the father figure in the house to be that emotional stable rock,
yeah,
that is something to look at, then all you have is the example of the emotions. But I am a firm believer that if a woman can shit test you, cheat, or do anything that makes you emotionally express those feelings in that way, that it will drive her away.
Yeah.
What would you express as weak emotions given off by a man? Like, what would you say is weak?
Allowing her
something that turns her off, make her look elsewhere.
Allowing her to draw an emotion that either comes from fear, anger, raising your voice, etc. I believe that if she can't look up to you, like almost like your kid would look up to you, like you are the rock, you are the person that makes her a better person. Arguing with her is almost putting yourself on the same level. And I think ideally that women don't want that. I think they want that, right? But in actuality, they don't, because the only time I've ever lost a girl, I've never had a girl break up with me, but the only time I've ever lost a girl is when I broke up with her because I wanted to cheat on her and realized that I still loved the girl and tried to get her back. And then I was the person that wasn't in abundance anymore. So my mistake was driving that girl away by doing, something along the lines of what you did.
Right.
Trying to go into her instead of absorbing her through that dynamic of emotional intelligence, like that gap, her looking up to you, you being the hero in the situation. It's a mistake that I've made. We all make.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
But looking back reflectively of it, I can see the whole thing in my scenario play out. I certainly feel like I'm hearing it in what you're saying.
Yeah. I got revenge too. This gets better.
So it loops back.
It gets better.
Oh, and it always does. Because I think a lot of times for guys, these things that they go through in this regard are things that actually fuel you to go become the guy that she calls back in 5 years.
Oh yeah. No, I sent her a friend request the other day on Instagram. She blocked me. I know she saw my page though. I know she saw my page.
She's still mad?
She blocked me.
She married to Ivan?
She married another guy, has a second kid on the way. Another sucker.
Damn.
So yeah.
This situation happens, right?
Yeah.
And you're with a Brazilian now.
Yep.
In Japan. Okay.
So Brazilian girl is all about me, throws me a birthday party, gets me a cake, But this treacherous bitch too, she had like some long distance thing going on with her.
Oh. I'm never going to Japan, bro.
No, it was just a series of bad coincidences. I met her in the streets in Hollywood, or on Halloween.
Okay.
Right?
In Japan.
In Japan, yeah. And so she was like my rebound. But long story short, I had been walking around in like late November in the freezing cold of Tokyo, and I hated it. I was just like, dude,
how cold does it get there?
Pretty cold. It can snow. So I get a hold of her, and I'm like, I want to get back to you. I'm sorry. She tells me what happens, and I'm like, hey, fucking whatever happens, you bang another guy, I don't care.
Oh, somebody in the chat says, that's scummy, dude. You should have just walked away. Not like y'all were married. I would have just dumped her and walked away to each their own. Well, hey, listen, dude. I feel like I'm bringing balance back to the force, because these chicks, the reason these chicks are so insufferable nowadays is because people are like, you, I'm just going to be the bigger man and walk away. I walked away. I also deleted her iPhone and her fucking MacBook. Suck it.
Right. And then I was like, I'm going to move to Hawaii. Remember, I'm supposed to stay in Japan 2 years, no help from nobody. On my rite of passage, my pinnacle life moment. I will say, though, that year, though, when I was there in Tokyo, something did happen. There was one day I woke up and I just felt like something had clicked. Like I had an epiphany, like a new perspective on reality. I can't explain it, but it was just like I just knew that I had evolved. I knew that I leveled up. I had part of my internal confidence was like permanently developed. So anyways, I go out to Hawaii. I finished all my contracts in December. My visa is up in Tokyo. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go to Hawaii. So I moved to Hawaii and I moved in with her, right? Living with her. Start looking for some job.
Wait, which girl is this?
The one.
The FaceTime girl?
Yeah, the liar.
God damn, John.
Yeah.
All right, proceed.
This is why I'm so good as a coach. I made all the mistakes.
Yeah. That is part of it.
Yeah, no. So
Okay.
I took her back, right? And I moved to Hawaii. Now, I heard in Hawaii, you can make a lot of money as a taxi driver, $200 a day. This was in 2014.
Right, like 60 G's.
Yeah. And then Uber was not a thing yet in Hawaii, 2014. So I had to get a job in the meantime. So I went to old trusty Craigslist and clicked on the gig section and found out they needed vinyl fence setters in Hawaii. And I had to wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and take the bus from Waikiki to like the hood of Oahu Island. It was Waipahu. Waipahu is like where all like the Samoan drug dealers and like if you're a white person, you just don't go down there, because they'll just whoop your ass for being white. Like they do not like you. You're haole, and that's not where you want to go. But I had to go to this company over there, and I would work construction, setting up these vinyl fences. And then at night, I would come back home and I would study for the taxi exam. So to get the taxi exam is really hard. They had 40 random questions about etiquette and driving, and then they had these GPS questions. So you had to learn
the city
manually.
Yeah.
And you had to like choose the routes that the state wanted you to learn, but they never told you the routes you were supposed to learn.
So you had to learn them all.
So it was a process of trial and error.
Right.
Like, if you want to go to, I don't know, Fort Lauderdale, you just go on I-95, right? But if the test says, no, you have to take all the back roads, you need to explain the route through the back roads.
Right.
So I had failed the taxi test 6 times. And every time I came home, the girl, she would look at me and be like, you fucking loser. She would doubt me. But I remember I passed that thing on the 7th time. And I remember my first day, I made $700 net profit, right? And I was just like, that was the most money I ever made in my life. And I was like, I must have got lucky. And the next day I went to work and I made like 600. The next day I made 500. The next day I made, 700. And every day I was making at least $300 net profit. So I'm like an animal. If I smell blood in the water, I'm going. I work like 7 days of work. I remember becoming such a workaholic. I was making all this money. I was making like $10,000 a month. And that's the richest I'd ever been in my life. I was 28 at this time. I remember she had doubted me. So I would always come home with the wad of cash. And I'd be like, here, you got to count today's earnings. She cooked, she cleaned, she took care of me, she did everything. I shut her up completely. But as I kind of made money, I met a lot of people in my taxis, right?
Yeah.
So this is where I got really slick with my game. So
this is where this really right here is how I was able to put together the stuff that I have in the Dark Pass harem. Because in 2014, when I got into this taxi, I got really good because I was just like DTF. I would meet girls in my taxi. I would ask them the right questions, but I would be politically correct and corporately correct enough for them to make the encroachments on me. They broke the professional barrier, right? And I can't tell you how good I got at meeting a chick, screening her, finding out if she was sexually available, and on a few occasions, like 5 or so, I would fuck them right there in the backseat of the taxi, and then they would pay me for the ride. And what they didn't know is the money went directly to me. They thought the money went to the company. Yeah, I remember I was fucking this one girl from Fiji, and she worked at the Hyatt down the Hyatt Regency down in Waikiki, and she would always bring me like these big chocolate chip cookies after work, and she would bring them to me. They were hot, and when I had sex with her, pussy was just so wet. It was just like gushing. It was good ass time, dude. And I remember I'd just put her down in the back seat. I would fuck her, and then, God, it was such a good time. It's a good time. Then I would eat that cookie on home. She'd pay me as well. The big old smile on my face, man. Good times in Hawaii. And that really, really, really taught me a whole new level of game. Zamari's in the house. She says, so you were a taxi gigolo. Oh, boy. But yeah, man, that's where I was able to really maximize my seduction game to like a whole new level.
I remember I would meet girls and I had 15 minutes to screen them if they were single or not, screen them if they're interested, and then pass them my business card and kind of with plausible deniability so I wouldn't get fired. Be like, oh yeah, well, here's my card if you ever need a ride. Just text me. I'm here. I'm on my phone all the time. So I started like meeting all these girls and like having sex with them in the backseat of my taxi and then dropping them off their locations. I did it multiple times. So I'm fucking all these hot girls and I'm like, man, this bitch at home fucking didn't believe in me. This bitch lied to me. She went and fucked another man. So this resentment started building up inside of me. And I went to Korea, right? And I was cheating on her in Korea too. And then when I came back, I found out she was going through my emails because she just felt like something was going on. And she found me going like, looking for girls in Korea through Craigslist singles ads. And Tinder was pretty hot back then too, 2014. And she found out. And when she found out, I was just like, you know what? Yeah, bitch, I did cheat on you. And you know what? I don't want to be with you anymore. Because she was pressuring me to get married. We've been dating for like 8 months. And she would want.
How old is she right there?
Same age as me.
Wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Wall.
And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, you got to move out. Like, get out, bitch. Like, go find your own place. And you dropped the ball. You shouldn't have fucked up in a hoe the first time around. And I had kind of gotten my balls about me. And I was like, fuck this bitch.
It's crazy how your expectations for the woman rise as your value as an individual rises.
Yeah, that's why right now for me, I just can't even go on. I can't even tolerate hoes right now. Like I have not been fucking new girls lately. Because when I hang out with these girls, like they're just losers. The majority of girls, like that loser energy jumps on you. I know it's like maybe not the nicest way to put it, to talk about it, but like a girl who's actively out there engaging in casual sex, she's usually a fucking bum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I have realized, like, yeah, as my standards have raised, like, I don't want a girl involved in any kind of hoe shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Posting your naked ass on Instagram. If Instagram is such a pinnacle part of your life, if Instagram is a big part of your life as a woman, like, I don't have any interest in you. I don't have any interest in you. You're tired.
It's streets right there.
She belongs to the streets.
It's so true. And I tell you this, like, when you, like, the thing is this too, when you're out there and you're having a good old time and you're sexually hungry, right? The desire, you still want to go out and chase chicks, right? This is why I teach guys game. And I teach guys game so that they can get tired of this shit. So they can be like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because as you learn game and as you're focusing on the core four, money, muscles, game, frame, you're developing as a man. And you start realizing that as a man with choice comes standards. And your standards typically go up as your SMV and, you know, your social acuity and your understanding of game goes up, right? My standards aren't going down over the years. They're going up. And rightfully so. I'm a successful guy. In any way, I mean, take the money away, I'm fucking still the fucking man, right? And I know what it takes to be a guy who can run a relationship well. And when you're going to get to a point where you're just like, when you maximize your game and you're learning everything and you're doing really well in life, that you're just going to like not want to be around hoe shit and then like and hoish women, right? And that's kind of where I am now. Like if a girl is involved in some hoe shit, I'm just like, ugh, you vagabond, get away from me. Like, I just can't, like, I don't want, that's loser energy. You know what I mean? Chicks in their hoe phase are losers. 9 times out of 10, when a chick is in her hoe phase, she is personally miserable in her life. She is absolutely miserable. She either hates her job, she hates her fucking career, she hates her boss, you know, combination of those things. And they run out there and they just mask it with a fucking bunch of dick. And that fucks them up. And they don't realize that shit scars them for the rest of their lives. Okay. And I just don't want to be around loser energy in general. Like I said, that's why I got rid of Mac the Day Gamer. That's why I kicked him out of my life, because he's got loser energy. You know, what is he doing now? Floundering around, right? You're going to see both those dudes, right? Because you just can't, as you grow, your comrades must grow with you. Otherwise, you got to fucking leave them behind. That loser energy jumps on you. And women in that hoe shit, that's loser energy as well. Okay. Zamari has a question. She says, okay, serious question though. How the hell do I raise my son to avoid these women? I can't imagine how much harder it's going to be for him by the time he's of dating age. It's scary. You just got to teach him, like, you got to teach him all of the hoe shit. You got to teach him like this, like, listen, a woman doing that shit, like, because guys are gullible and they believe women at face value, which is the dumbest thing you'd ever do. Right? Bro, I am like, but when I deal with women, it's twofold. Okay. 1, we do not negotiate with terrorists. And 2, in the MLD court of law, when I meet you, you are a hoe and a streetwalker until proven otherwise in a court of red pill law. Okay. As soon as I see some chick, I'm just like, because it's in your best bet to assume she's out there on that hoe shit, especially if you met her on a dating app. Okay. Dating app or a club or anything like that. You're just gonna have, it is in your best behavior for you to look at her and be like, all right, this bitch potentially is a streetwalker. And when they're streetwalkers, you got to understand that even though you have sex with them, okay, you can still fall in love. And fall in love with a hoe is the worst shit ever. Ask me how I know. So it is in your best behavior. As soon as you meet a woman, this is the number one thing that goes into your mind right here. All right. You got to think to yourself, okay, this chick's a streetwalker. This chick is a streetwalker for sure. Okay. And you can't fucking deal with that in your life. Guilty until proven innocent. Period. Mike Harton says Myron is starting to feel that way. He's becoming more mature and probably going to lessen after hour shows. Yeah, well, Myron is out there, and yeah, he's 32. Myron's going to start changing his. He's going to start changing his tune around 34, 35. You'll see. You'll see. That Miami life kind of got in his head a bit, but you'll see. He's going to get tired of that hoe shit. It's exhausting being on these hoes. Like, man, fuck this shit. You dirty hoe. I don't want to care about you or your daddy issues. Suck my dick. Shut up. Get the fuck out. That's all you're good for. Back to the streets where you belong. I'm sorry.
She belongs to the streets.
But when you're a streetwalker, you're going to get treated like a streetwalker. And you have all the symptoms of a streetwalker. These chicks, to de-hoify themselves, have to do so much work. And the average woman doesn't realize how insufferable she is and how intolerable and how annoying she is. Like, the average woman is just that, an intolerable mess. So let's go back to this video here and continue.
Child, I don't know.
I'll ask you this. When you kicked her out, did you feel like you got a piece of that masculine journey accomplished?
Yes. So when I broke up with her, she went nuts. She took a knife and she ran into the street and she took the back of the knife and pretended she was cutting herself to like get me involved. And after I pulled her back inside the house, she went on the balcony and I was like, all right, bitch, like, go out there and just chill out. So there's this rope I had to tie to my trunk shut of my taxi. And I hear these choking noises come from the balcony. I go out there. She's like tying the rope around her neck and like choking herself. And I was just like, okay, like at that point I was like, I have absolutely got to dump this girl. You see why I'm so good at the coaching shit? It sounds fake. It sounds like a lie, right? It sounds like a bullshit story.
Dude, her name was Nozomi. That chick was fucking nuts, man. Nozomi Matsuda. It is like a generic enough name that no one will be able to find her. But bitch was nuts, man. She was fucking crazy. Man, it was just like, and like I said, when I seen that, like, and another thing is this too, like, once I decide to dump a chick, once I decide to like break up with her, like it's over. There's no going back. Like, it is like the fucking death note. Like, your name is written down and you are going to be vanished for sure. And yeah, like, after she pulled that shit, I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with this. And I was just like, there is no fucking way in hell or high water that I'm going to fucking tolerate this shit at all. Okay. And I'll show you something. So this was me at the time. There's me. It's my name tag, Charlie's Taxi. I would drive for a company called Charlie's Taxi. That was me driving. That was, how old was I there? 27, 28. Probably, no, 28 at this time, 28. Rocking the Ray-Bans. Still all about that. Looking good. Doing my thing. And, yeah, I was in Hawaii. Hawaii, doing that thing. Let me see if we can find that chick. I think if I can have a picture of her. Yeah, this is when I was making that bread. That's all the Hawaii taxi money I was making. Big cash, I was making huge money. I was so proud of myself. Make some serious bank. 10 G's a month, 2014. That's not bad, bro. That is not bad at all. Life was so good. And, when I started making that money and doing well, and I kind of noticed that she was, I was like, man, this bitch really ain't worth, like, she's not worthy. She is not worthy of the crown. And, yeah, that's when I was just like, it's time to give this bitch her walking papers. And then she went fucking off the deep end with that shit. And I was like, okay, walking papers confirmed. Walking papers confirmed. You absolutely deserve to go back to the streets where you belong.
She belongs to the streets.
Right. And yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Good time back there. Oh yeah, here she is. Let me see. Wait. I'm starting to find some pictures of us together. And honestly, I just keep on dating girls that are just hotter and hotter and hotter. Here he is, young Chad. Young Chad MLD. That was her. She's a cutie. You know, steady thugging. But now she's back in the streets where she belongs. Because once I noticed this truth, I had to set her back. Let's go back to the show.
Believe you, absolutely.
You know? Yeah, man. Her name was Nozomi, you know, and
How'd you get rid of her?
I just told her, you gotta get stiff and cut the corn, Gina. You know, you broke the rules, it's game over. And then I was single for a while. I had met this Colombian chick named Tatiana driving around. She was a predator. She was the aggressor for sure. No, I remember, I never forget how she made me feel, because she made me feel so desired. I was like, damn, man, this bitch is sexy. Because I met her in my cab when her and her husband were driving around.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And he was apparently beating her or abusing her or some shit.
Which is what they'll tell you.
Right, exactly.
I always know a woman is trying to do that when she starts talking shit about her partner in some way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's trying to put it on you.
Yeah. You know?
And so she was telling you about this, making you feel a certain way.
Making me feel certain way. They started always calling me and texting me to pick her someplace.
Yeah.
Always, like daily. And I was like, I knew she was, I knew she was making the moves, but I was like, kind of like, nah, you ain't that much of a pimp, dude. Like, you know, because she was hot, right? She had big tits. She had a kid with that guy. But yeah, I remember, she was like, well, you must know good places as a taxi driver. Why don't you take me sometime if you're free? And I was very honest with her about my situation. My girlfriend was like, yeah, I broke up with my girlfriend, but we're still living together, and it's kind of awkward. So we had gone up to like this lookout point, Tantalus lookout point in Waikiki, and then she was enthusiastically sucking my dick, and then we ended up having sex, and started seeing each other. So I kicked the Japanese girl out, and I'm spending all the time with Tatiana. But I'm telling Tatiana, like, I gotta get back, man. We gotta get back on my mission. So Nozomi moves out. Tatiana's supporting me. She knows I'm gonna leave. She's like, I know. She's like, I know you're just here for a little bit, but she's like, I just like you so much. Like, I want to help you. So Tatiana helped me like clean out my entire apartment, get rid of everything, so I can sell everything and go back on my journey to Japan.
Bro, I got to say, Tatiana was a fucking awesome chick. And the thing about her, the thing that was great about Tatiana is she knew she had no chance with me, and she accepted it. She's like, you know what? She's like, you're just not like these other guys. They're so full of shit. They're always talking shit. She's like, I love that, like, you're about your business and you just say you're going to do something and you fucking do it. And you're very decisive in what you do. And she's like, that's so sexy and that's so attractive. She's like, I wish you was staying here. And bro, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, bro, the stuff I have in the dark past, you guys think you got, like, don't take me wrong. Like, you guys think you have game and you don't. You really don't. No offense. If you don't have a woman at your house cooking, cleaning, taking care of you, slurping you up, okay, and only wanting to be with you, you think you have a game? You don't. Sorry. Okay, what did I have? You think I was fucking breaking Tatiana off, paying her money? You think I was doing any of that shit? Fuck no. Fuck no. I wasn't taking her anywhere. I wasn't buying her I wasn't taking her shopping. None of that shit. She gets shop at fucking these nuts, okay? Now, she came over. She helped me clean up my entire place. She always brought me snacks. She always brought me food. She just cared about me. And, sometimes I would be like, hey, don't fucking do that. And she would be like, no me grites. That was her little Latina sass. Kind of liked it a little bit, not going to lie. But not too much, But she respected me. She knew what was up. And she wanted a shot at the title, So that being said, going through all this shit that I've talked about here, the bitches in fucking church, Sierra, Vanessa, Nozomi, Tatiana, like, bro, again, like I said, I'm at 250 plus chicks right now. Dude, every girl that comes into my life, bro, she gets to work. There's no fucking free factory here. There's no free ride here. You better work around me. You better earn this fucking dick. Next thing, this ain't no fucking charity zone. Okay. Shout out to Uncle Luke, 1980s, $10 super chat. Wow, bro, that's a huge donation, man. Thank you. Uncle Luke, 1980s. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Okay. And then shout out to my homies on Rumble. 58 people watching live. Holy shit, I love it. I just want to say, MLD, I appreciate you coming on Donovan Sharp live stream and checked all that hate that they have for the passport movement. I personally want men to have peace here overseas. Bruh, guys who hate, people like say like, oh, you're a passport, bro. I'm just like, bro, you know what you are? You're poor. Okay. You got no money. Okay. I wear your annual earnings on my wrist casually, and then I go out and get drunk and slam this all over the place. So I don't want to hear what anybody has to say about some shit that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It's a global economy and a global sexual marketplace. Okay. If you want to go somewhere and get some pussy that you like, go get it. I'm not fucking no third world pussy out here. I'm fucking first world, delicious, great tasting, lasered off the pussy, laser hair off the pussy vagina over here in Japan. I'm not fucking no third world vagabond. Okay. I'm not out here fucking breaking off $5 to get a blowjob in Tijuana. No, it's not what I'm doing over here. Not at all. American women, from a global perspective, are at the bottom of the barrel. Okay. It is the birthplace. It is a birthplace of feminism. Okay. Feminism wasn't about equal rights or anything. If you look into it, feminism was started by Gloria Steinem and the CIA to break up the family unit. And guess what? They succeeded because everything's a fucking mess. And the reason why they want to tear families apart is because when families are together, there's not a stronger bond than family bond. My mom to this day would kill somebody for me if they fucked with me, and I would do the same for her. I would kill to protect my family. I love my family, and that is a strong bond, and they don't want that. That is the birthplace of this filth. That is the birthplace of this fat acceptance movement, which is absolutely unhealthy and reprehensible. It is the birthplace of all this degeneracy and filth that they export through the TV, through the movies, through the social media, and even through the video games. So why would I want to be in ground zero of that nasty abortion of a place, America? No offense to the good American women that watch and the good American men that watch, okay? I love you guys. God bless you all. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and tolerate that shit at all. It's fucking disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. Okay. Yeah. And then Uncle Luke says, yeah, they don't travel, so they don't know. Exactly. No offense. People like, but to just write off dudes like, oh, you're a passport, bro. And so you're blah, 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 blah. Bro. But you're poor. That's what I say. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Okay. I did the immigrant dream. Okay. I came to another country where shit is on hard mode. And I fucking not am I only surviving. Okay. I am thriving. Okay. I'm not just eking by in life and getting by like barely. And it's crazy. You know what my haters hate the most? I'm getting better. What do you think? I'm just wake up every day and just hang out and do something? I'm walking what I'm talking. Money muscles game frame. I am doing this stuff myself. I'm studying to get better, and I am getting better, and I'm killing the game. And what I'm doing is what you should be doing as well. Money muscles game frame. It's a lifestyle. Okay. And guess what? It's not for everybody. Okay. It is not for everybody. You want to know why? It's not easy. It is not easy at all. It's hard. It's hard to do what I do. It's hard to look inside yourself and conquer your inner demons. It's hard to fucking look at what's going on in life and be like, you know what, man, I'm not okay with this and it's my fault. So I got to fix this. It's hard. Motherfuckers can't even pay a goddamn attention to a fucking live stream. People are like, oh, just give it to me now. Give it to me now. A shorter attention span. Motherfucker, you think I'm just going to tell you 37 years of knowledge in fucking like a few hours? Are you that fucking dumb? I mean, the answer is yes. But there's the dopamine addicted idiots that don't understand the long game. Okay? So it is what it is. And the world is your oyster. Okay? You have to understand, if you're in a first world country and you have access to the internet and you're poor, it is your fault. It is 1,000% your fault. Okay? So, Rick Terry says, isn't it crazy how fast men shame other men for their own inadequacies? Hey, it is what it is, bro. Okay. And by the way, we're looking for some moderators on the chat here. Billy's the head moderator. If you want to be a moderator for the Modern Life Dating channel, you got to be watching the show live from a computer. Dedicated members who want to help spread the word of Money Muscles Game Frame, you can click this link here in the chat, and we'll screen you with Billy. He's going to screen you to be a moderator, and then we're going to sort you out and bring you part of it. Okay. So let's go back to this and continue on here.
Japan round 2, I did something really crazy. I threw myself all in. So I had $4,000 this time.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Japan round 2. Is that where you become MLD?
That is the dawn of MLD, yes.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. Guys, I want to take a quick break because I have to piss. And also, I want you to go ahead and start loading the super chats, the questions for John. Now.
Japan. So I did something ballsy, right? So when you want to go to Japan, you need a visa. Because you don't have a visa, you don't get to stay. So I told myself it's time to burn the ships part 2. Because I knew living in Hawaii, Oahu Island is 44 miles long. And I was 28. And I was like, there's no way in hell I'm spending the rest of my life on this small ass fucking island at 28 years old, right? And so what I ended up doing was going to Japan with only a tourist visa.
Shut up and take my money.
So I moved to this thing called a guest house where you can live there in a small apartment.
Shout out to Gordo Eats 499 super chat. May Allah allow us all to gain max in this Tesla life. I'm trying to be as yoked as you, bro. Gordon Eats, smart guy. Smart guy. He defended my honor against the shillers of a certain system that will no longer be mentioned, a certain cryptocurrency shiller. Anyways, this guy's the man. This guy's legit. He's a real homie.
Without any paperwork, right? Just need to pay the rent and say, I'm a guest, here's my tourist
I
visa.
thought you already ate Miami.
Right.
Yeah.
eBid says, do you remember roughly your screen tests in the taxi ride? I remember it clear as day. And how would you update it for the current market? I have, and it's in the Dark Past Harem. It's coming out. Come on, you think I'm just not going to talk about this stuff and not give you guys the sauce?
That's right. Is that where Sterling used to live?
That's where Sterling used to live.
Yeah,
That's
well,
where
all the
they check it on
rackets.
shit, bro. The cops are there every day. Sterling, what the fuck is going on, bro? Oh, they don't check papers here. That's why I'm here. Okay.
Sterling could be an optimist about anything. He's like, no, it's great, man. It's a great location.
It was cool, bro. It was cool, though. I'm not hating it. It's not this building, but it wasn't bad. It's better than Louisiana.
Yeah. So I have to get a job and a visa within 90 days or I'm going to be forced to leave the country. And I only had $4,000 in my pocket at that time. So I Hail Mary it to the west side of Japan, to Osaka, Japan, right? And so I land there. And long story short, within 19 days, I'm working. I negotiated with this Costa Rican guy who's Costa Rican American to work at his institution. I said, he said he'd sponsor me a visa. And
Do his business.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, I would be able to work and he'd pay me under the table in cash. I negotiated all this. Right? He put me on the spot. He's like, can you teach a lesson right now? I was like, yeah, bro, give me those goddamn flashcards. And and I knocked it out of the park. I'm a very good teacher. I'm a very, very good teacher. Because in the church, I grew up being the student. And then eventually I became a leader in the church and I guided the students. And I had my own acting team. They got second place in the state of Florida. The only place they got second place is because the group that got first place, they beat us by 1 point. And the judge was also the leader of the group that won. And she cheated. That was also a red pilling moment for me. I got robbed from the Florida title. But I did get second place with my boys. So it was good. So I had also experienced leading and teaching and guiding. So I was really good naturally with kids. So he hired me. And now I'm doing this thing, right? And this is 2015. I got there in January. And this year, I just wanted to do, I was just so happy to be back in Japan. All I was doing literally every day was work out. I would work my morning job, which I would go to, let me go back. Sorry, my story's all over the place. So the Costa Rican guy, I work with him for a while. I get a visa. And then he starts kind of abusing the power he had over me. Started cutting my pay and making me work extra. And long story short, in the summer I quit, right? And he robbed he robbed me of like $1,500, but at the time it was a lot of money for me.
Yep.
And that summer I had gone down basically to $10 in my pocket. But I had to rebuild myself, ended up getting a job in elementary school in the daytime. And then at nighttime, I would teach English to business level students at this pharmaceutical company. And after that, I would go home and I would work out. And then at nighttime, between like 8 to 10 p.m., I'd go on dates with Japanese girls. So that whole time I had just been working out, working 2 jobs, going to the gym, and fucking girls. It was an awesome year. It was 29. It was my last hurrah, you know. That's when I started Modern Life Dating. I started Modern Life Dating on January 21st, 2015. That's when I started the YouTube channel. And I came up with the name.
We'll push it over.
I had a previous YouTube channel where I was just trying to be an entertainer, and it just didn't feel right to me. And I'd been studying and learning all this stuff. At the time, I was reading like Chris from Good Looking Loser. And Derek, More Place, More Dates was just like a dude on
Seems
his
like such a good dude, that guy.
He's super smart. He's super smart. I never met him, but we interacted on the forum a lot. He's like a white Myron. He's like really, really dialed in with everything he needs to do. And so I was hanging out with those guys digitally. I was listening to Brandon Carter's stuff at that time.
Yeah.
Brandon is a big advocate of the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And Brandon was saying, like, if you're serious about this book, you better listen to this book 10 times in a row. So I did. I listened to it 10 times in a row, audiobook. And things were looking up. I was doing good and everything there. But then, oh man, it's just like so red pill, bro, of me to say this. And I hate to even say it, but I actually did date a girl who had BPD, borderline personality disorder. Actually had it. Not like these guys like, oh, my BPD, that's because Rollo said.
Not like the girl with the rope.
No, she was more histrionic. Okay. So I dated this girl because she lived in the guest house with me. But she was boozing every day, right? And I ended up sleeping with her a bunch of times, and she ended up becoming a girlfriend. But then I started noticing when Japanese girls cut, right, they typically cut like where you can't see. So she had like
she was cutting herself.
Yeah, she had like an index of cut scars in a line going down her thigh, right? She did it years ago, but I didn't realize how much of a gaping red flag that was in my youth. And the sex was so good because she was fucking psychotic that, you know, she caused me to do some crazy shit. We got some toxic fights. This is a girl taught me you can't save people who don't want to be saved. She lived on the 7th floor, right? And so one time she asked me to get out of her house, and we were just having this real toxic fight. You know, like when the door is cut off and you're not done saying what you want to say. So she had fucking locked me out of her apartment, and I was just so petty, and I was so angry. I was like, fucking bitch. So I went into my apartment, and I went on the balcony, and I jumped from the 6th floor balcony, and I grabbed her ledge on the 7th floor balcony, pulled myself up, jumped over the railing, and opened her balcony door. She always kept them locked because why would you lock you on the 7th floor, you know? And I came in there, and she was like, you psycho, you know, because it was just too toxic.
Fair.
Yeah. But I was just livid. I was like, bitch, you are not going to talk to me like this.
You didn't delete her iCloud, did you?
No. She was off the balcony. So no.
So you came back. You had all this success. Now you're in this situation with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
But you were on the verge of John MLD right here. No,
John. I mean, I was putting out content. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Were you talking about dating, or you were doing that?
Talking about dating.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is actually, I think, super interesting because you're openly saying, and by the way, thank you for this, because I feel like there's a lot of content here that you've not said publicly.
No, I have. I just have a huge database of 500 plus episodes.
Got you.
I talked about pretty much all this.
So,
I think not the abortion though. I think this is the first time I talked about the abortion.
Okay. So you're talking about dating. Is it in the realm of advice, or is it in the realm of
advice?
Okay, cool. So it's pretty sane of you to be able to look back at that and say that maybe it might have been wrong at that time. Mm-hmm. How did that evolve for you? How did you go from maybe the advice that wasn't as right to the advice that, let's say, you give today? What progression was there?
Just dating a lot of shitty chicks.
Yeah.
And recognizing patterns, consistent patterns across the board. The more data you have, the more you're gonna be able to.
And this is why I tell you guys, like when it comes to like getting out there and actually getting data, you really want to go and date as many chicks as possible, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s, whatever, because ultimately you're collecting data. That's how you have to view your dating experiences, as like collecting data. All right. And repetition is like the backbone of all fucking skill. And so, you just have to get used to being around women. Like when women come around me, it's just like, dude, it's like I'm so nonchalant how I'm just like flirty and having a good time because I'm not afraid of women. Like when Zamari called in, I was making her laugh, and it was like not like a strict like, oh, let's have a fucking proper interview conversation. There's none of that shit, right? For example, right, I had to book this location to film this the Dark Bass Harem. This Thursday I'll be filming it, right? And I called the girl and who worked at the place, and I met her a couple times before, and she was giving me the eye because I'm me. And so when I called, we were doing a little back and forth because I had to call my director and be like, hey, they're booked in the room that we want, but we can do it this time. Are you cool? Because he has a son. And I was like, yeah, is your son okay? Can your wife watch the son? And he's like, yeah, got my wife to watch it. Cool. And I was like, okay, I'll call her back. So I call her back. I was like, hey, cool, we can do it this time. She's like, cool, we can do this, and this. And, we were hanging up, going back and forth on phone. And then she called me again. She was like, hey, by the way, just so you know, we're having a Christmas party tomorrow, and I'd like you to come and hang out with us. It starts at, starts at 5. It's gonna be over 8:30, and come on down. And just by being friendly and being, borderline for flirtatious with her, she just didn't. They women want to be around guys that make them feel good. And I was making her feel good over the phone. She's like, "Yeah, you should come to the Christmas party. I haven't seen you in a month. It's been a while. It's been like a month and a half since I've seen her. So I'm gonna go tomorrow. Maybe give her the pipe. But yeah, so it's from years of repetition. It doesn't just, it's like second nature now. It's like how you never stop learning how to ride a bike. Same thing when you're out here with these chicks, bro. You're not gonna really learn. You're not gonna unlearn what you've learned. You know what I mean? You're gonna be fucking, you're gonna be. It's just like it doesn't leave you. It becomes second nature. It becomes a level of like, you really become the game. You become what you are, like, talking and watching all the time, with watching red pill content, all that chat, right? And again, that's what happened with me, and my life is fucking awesome. Let me tell you, guys, women are legitimately the last thing I worry about in my life. I do not worry for one fucking second at all. Okay. So I got to use the bathroom, but I'm trying to figure out how can I do this. I wonder but I don't think this will play the music. Give me 1 second. I just don't think this is going to play the music, but let me see if does this. I feel like this is not playing the music. It's not, probably. I don't think it is playing the music, right? Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, after I've kind of usually just run through OBS, so now I'm running through OBS virtual cam, and I got to coordinate to like get that sound up, and got to do a couple things. Anyways, let's go back to video because it's picking up pretty hot right here. This chick that I dated was a real fucking nutbag. This chick, I've dated a lot of crazy bitches, as you can tell. I just want to show this. This is like a personal bragging point. Look at me. This is when I cosplayed as Kakashi in Hawaii when I went to Kawaii Con. It was like an anime convention over there in Hawaii. I just love it. I love doing nerdy shit, guys. I don't give a shit. I cosplay. I live the dream, bro. And yeah, man. Life is good, mate. Life is fucking good. It is a good life over here. Here's, you want to see another one? This was actually this was like MegaCon, on the front page of the Orlando Sentinel for the MegaCon section. Who knows who that is? You guys know that? Show me one content creator in the red pill who cosplays as good as me. Nobody. Okay. Nobody. Okay. Mic stayed open. It's okay. I wasn't saying anything wrong. I just hope you didn't hear me peeing, because that's one hell of a mic. I told you nerd out with me all day. Believe you me, kids fucking love me, dude. When I was at the elementary school, those kids worshiped me like I was like I was a cult leader. Those kids worshiped me like I was Richard Hart.
To analyze consistency in behaviors and that are related to some kind of event. You know, when it mean like a woman checking out of the relationship, or a woman being really interested, or
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, with anything with 10,000 hours,
right?
So there's reps there,
right?
So you start the channel, and the advice starts getting better and better and better, and your following starts to grow.
No,
how did the growth on YouTube and your brand happen?
That happened in 2019, 4 years later.
So you banged at this for 4 years.
This is why I told you, like, you have like your YouTube come up has been like so perfectly done, because for 4 years I got 800 subscribers in 4 years. You know, but I wasn't consistently uploading. I was trying to figure out all the camera stuff on my own. I was learning myself, the algorithm, everything. You know, plus I was fucking all these girls and trying to make money, and it was just really disorganized and all over the place. But I ended up figuring it out. But it took a long time. It wasn't like an overnight success. It was like years and years of failure, and then finally, in a moment of desperation, one of my ideas worked. You know, because I just got pushed to the edge to start live streaming, and put this body language course that I had in my mind, put it together. You know,
what year?
2019, February 28th.
So we've gone from 2000. Well, basically, we went from 85, and we jumped to 98, and then we jumped to 2012, and then we jumped to 2019, and this is really where most of the magic's happened.
So yeah, so 2015, I'm still dating the alcoholic girl and trying to fix her, right? And I'm in Japan. I remember I'm supposed to stay in Japan for 2 years, so this is supposed to be year 1 of 2 consecutive in a row. So the girl starts causing me problems, and then she starts saying all this bullshit, like, well, I don't want you to go to the gym so much because yada yada yada. And I realized, like, okay, I'm gonna stop banging all these girls and try to take care of this one girl and stop going to the gym so much and try to get a job. She was never a believer in the MLD thing taking off. So my visa's running out, right? Again, and then my mom is missing me now. My mom has this thing where she just likes to compartmentalize me sometimes. And so she had started telling me like all these things, like, oh, you should come back to America. I miss you. You've been gone almost 3 years. Come back. So I finally take the bait. And what she says, she'll come back and become a real estate agent.
What year is this?
2015.
Okay.
So she talks me into coming back and living with her and my stepdad, right? Or stepfather. I don't even call him my stepfather. He's just married to her, but just place another word. Forget it. So I go back to America. I'm living with them in Port Orange, and I had just touched down. And the good thing is my mom had this condo that had been just a nightmare for the past 2 years that she couldn't handle. You know, Thomas was his name. It still is his name to this day, my mom's husband. And he'd been trying to rent this place out. The guy's a fucking loser. He hates me, but it's because he's a loser. He couldn't make a profit out of this place for 2 years in a row. I touched down from Tokyo. I figured out within 2 weeks, it's on Airbnb and making a profit as soon as I touched down. And my mom's singing my praises. She's like, look at this. Can't believe you've done this. This is amazing. We've got this money fountain. You know, it was making $3 to $4 grand a month, right? And so this really didn't sit well with Thomas. So he's a spiteful little cunt. And he decided to cut the internet off at the house where we were living. And so he cut it off for everybody. And now my business was in danger a little bit, the Airbnb business. I ran off through the phone. Their plan was to let me stay and live with them so I get my feet on the ground with the real estate. And yeah, you know, it didn't work out like that at all. They ended up, it just got hostile with me and him. You know, when I was 25, I whooped his ass. We skipped over that. He came over to my house to challenge me. I whooped his ass, and then he fucking went and filed a restraining order on me after he came to my house and got his ass whooped. And he's just been salty ever since that day, you know? So then he was telling me I got to get out of his house. So I had just come back to America. I had broken my rite of passage promise to myself again, right? To come home to help my mom out. And I got back there, and I realized my mom just wanted me home just so in her mind she'd be like, oh, my son is kind of compartmentalized at home down the road there. So that fucking sucked. And I had to go back to old trusty Craigslist to find a roommate. And I randomly moved in with some dude, some fucking old gay guy in Winter Park who had a big house and had like this extra spare room there. He was like a real controlling, like, Nazi of a gay guy. And if I left like a speck of food or anything on the stove, I had to go out there and clean it. He would knock on my door and ask me to do like a round 2 cleaning on the stove and all this stuff. It was just a nightmare. All this bad shit was happening, right? I broke up with the ex because she came with me to America. She wanted to get married, but then things got crazy and my family didn't like her and she did some crazy shit. And I was just like, you know, I'm just done with you, bitch. Like, go ruin someone else's life. I took her to the airport. I smoked a blunt the whole way there so she would smell like weed and hopefully get detained by the TSA. Dropped her off. I was like, get out of my life. I can't deal with this. And at that point, I realized that the only person who has their best interest in life is me, for me. You know what I mean? I know it's a lot.
I'll show you guys the main reason I stayed in the relationship with the crazy girl from Hawaii. That was her from behind. You know, for some reason, people just think like Japanese girls don't have curves, or like they're just like these stick boards. But she had a donk, bro, and she had a nice little flat stomach, tits not that big, but can't win them all, you know.
So I'm telling you, this is why I'm such a good coach, because I went through so much shit. You know?
God damn. There's been a couple points in the story where I thought you'd been fucking with me.
No, I wish. Yeah, I wish.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you start live streaming.
That's 2019. Yeah.
When does it start working?
Well,
Because you're taking, like in life, if we backtrack this, you're taking punch after punch after punch after punch.
Yeah.
Right? You're not quitting.
I lost all my money again in 2018.
Don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
I want to hear the W.
Right. No. So the W that came, it was an arduous path, you know. But I'm like, that's one thing about the wrestling that I think that really made me strong, is it taught me how to endure and how to have like tenacity.
Right.
You know, like Myron's very tenacious.
Right. Yeah. I feel the same way about Myron as I do about Brandon, bro. If you don't like Myron or Brandon, bro, fuck you.
They're tenacious animals.
Yeah, bro. Good and good men. Good, solid men.
Brandon is a fucking like sweetheart behind the scenes. You know, like he is like a genuine, like he was helping me out the other day. We had dinner and I was like, I'm going to pay. He's like, are you sure? I was like, what the hell do you mean? Are you sure? Like,
Yeah, bro. Brandon Carter's fucking gold, bro.
yeah, no, dude. Like he let me up in his house. I met his girlfriend and everything, you know?
Yeah, man. I mean this in a completely it doesn't, look, if you're a young man, looking up to Brandon Carter is a good decision.
Yep.
Yeah. And I would say the same thing about Myron for sure. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
They're very by the book. You know, they got it all going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a couple of losses, a bunch of shit went through, a lot of bad shit happened. But yeah, 2019 so 2018 was my terrible year. I start the Airbnb business. It's booming. Long story short, stepfather was jealous of my success, manipulated my mother, and they tried to swoop me out of the business. They ended up swooping me out of the business. But like all things that Thomas does, he's a loser in all things. He runs the Airbnb into the ground and it becomes a fucking nightmare. So at that point, I go home for Christmas. I got a new girlfriend who loves me, despite being fucking broke, whatever. She just really loved me for me, right?
John, I'm gonna hit you with this bottle if you don't tell me when you started winning.
I'm about to tell you.
This motherfucking bottle.
I'm about to. But the reason I'm about to tell you this is because it's what guys need to be honest with themselves. So I'm 33, and then the New Year's happens, and it's 2019, and I'm like, okay, Jonathan. So you had this baller job in Tokyo, you quit it. You said you're gonna become a YouTuber, make all these videos, but now you quit your big time Tokyo job. You said you're gonna do this today. You haven't been doing it. You're a fucking 33-year-old English teacher. You have less than $3,000 saved up. You are a 33-year-old loser, right? I had to have that.
It's a man in the mirror moment.
It was, and I can't lie to myself. And I just knew, like, dude, congratulations, you're a fucking 33-year-old loser, right? And I know we're all supposed to love ourselves and talk to ourselves kind and all that,
not.
right? You know. So I'd done a show with Donovan Sharp in 2018, and we talked about body language, and I got all these crazy influx of people contacting me, right? I studied psychology, I studied body language, and I figured out how to tell if a woman's sexually interested in you, not where she's warming up to you, based upon her body language. And then what I would do on these dates is, as her body language got warmer, I tested her reception to me sexually, and I got really fucking good at this. The time in the taxi helped me this too by sizing them up.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna put this plan together. And I met this, this guy who was down for the business and stuff, Charlie. He's my buddy, he's now Charlie Cultivate Crypto. Miguel's
boy.
business partner.
I've not met him, but I know he is.
So he's out there with me in Tokyo, and I come up with this idea to release this program called Body Language Mastery. So I find a Japanese model, I film all the stuff, raw content, and I'm doing this campaign. So I'm gonna live stream for 30 days. I'm gonna tell everybody on this email waiting list, and then I'm gonna do 5 days of having people sign up to get the course, and then I'm gonna close it, and then I'm gonna add in. I was like, I'll have this like small bonus that nobody would even care about, which is like we'll have question and answer for 2 weeks. Like come in and talk to me, and we'll do these Q&As, right? So I do the 30-day campaign. I get down to the course launch date, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, Jonathan, you're a loser. This is not going to work. Like, this is not going to work. So I was doing the launch, and I was ready to send an email, but I had not even finished the product. I didn't even create the product, right? So I had an email list of about 280 people on it, and the course was $297. I was like, all right, well, I was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna send out the link, and then I mentioned like we're gonna send a link, and then we're gonna drip feed out the content. So Charlie's at the money computer to check payments coming in. I'm at the email.
Really in person.
He's helping me out,
Okay,
right?
cool.
We both know what the fuck we're doing.
Okay.
And so I send out the email, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And in my mind, I'm like, dude, you're just a loser. Like, it's not gonna work. Like, I don't even know why you're trying. And I was just kind of like waiting for another failure. And then Charlie's like, okay, he's like, I think we're at 4,000. I was like, oh, 4,000 what? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, this is like, it's been 10 minutes. And there's about 4,000 right now. I was like, 4,000 what? He's like, $4,000. I was like, what? And I was like, in my mind, I was like, God, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't know how to work the computer. I was like, Charlie, fuck, get out of the computer, sit down. And I looked down and I was like, what the fuck? And I think like 15 people had bought the course within 10 minutes. So that was like $4,000. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh my fucking God, this is working. And that was a lot of money for me at the time, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta make this fucking course. So I immediately got on the computer, started editing everything, right?
That was a true story. When I was 33, guys, I had like a really come to Jesus moment myself. And I was like, man, I am a motherfucking loser. Like, I am a certified bona fide loser. And this is just not okay. And I was just so angry and so like in a dark place, to be honest with you. And if you watch like the first episodes of the Interview with the Man, episode 1 to 6, you can see I just look so beat up and look so like I look older than I do now. And, but I just started pouring my heart out. and keeping it 1,000, you know, and just showing everybody what the deal was with myself, my journey, and my come up. And crazy, just started building audience, and you know, people kept coming back and watching and learning, and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And I was just like, God damn, bro, what the fuck? Like, man, I'm onto something. Here I am, bro. Look at this, bro. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Bro. This is almost 4 years ago. Okay. 4 years ago. Look at me now. And then look at this guy. I got the Lex Friedman going on. Just like awful camera, awful angle, like Modern Life Dating clipped up in the back. Just a guy just beat up and desperate to like try anything to get success. Like that's really what you have to do to get success, man. Like you just have to be fucking dedicated and like all in. You got to be 1,000% all in. You know, Trader Theories has been there since the start. That almost doesn't look. Wait until I clean up myself and get myself a nice little haircut tomorrow. You know, I'm growing the hair out because the hair transplant people said don't get a haircut, kind of grow it out, see how the thickness comes in. And then my beard, every time I go to the barbershop, I let the guys do the beard as well. I'll be all pretty tomorrow. Don't y'all worry about that. But yeah, man, people have been watching me like, dude, you're getting younger. Look at it. And I look a little scraggly right now. You know, this studio too, like it just like, I don't like the lighting. I don't like how anything is. It's like, doesn't really do me justice, but it's all good. It's just a slight growing pain for something big coming in 2023. 2023. You still had that nerd vibe going. Hey, you like that nerd vibe just as much as you like this. Okay. You like it, and that's why you're here. That's why you come back every day, because you like me so much, Samari. Okay, and that's because you have a good taste in men. Lock down a winner. You're watching a winner. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's go back.
Editing it, and I started like releasing it module by module to the people that signed up and keeping them entertained and happy. And the first day goes by of the course, right? Charlie goes to get some drinks. He starts getting some drinks. He gets so hammered. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. He drops beer on my Japanese tatami floor. I'm like, Charlie, get the fuck out of my house. Like, get in a taxi, go home. I got to do this shit. The money's still coming in. And in the first 24 hours, I had made $7,500. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, holy shit. And I was just like praying to God, God, if I could just make $6,000, I would feel like a loser. So day 2 goes by, and I make like $4,000. I was like, okay, here comes like the loser that I'm used to. Day 3 comes by, I make like $3,000. So now I have like $14,000 total. And then day 4 comes by and it peaks up to like $7,000 again. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then day 5 comes out to be like $14,000. So in these 5 days, I make $38,500. And that was equivalent to more than I made the previous year, all year teaching English, trying to get this Modern Life Dating off the ground. So I was like, holy fuck. And I thought I got lucky. And I was just like, well, you got to do what you got to do. And I said, just go deliver the course content as much as you can. So at that time, I did the coaching on Google Hangouts. And Google Hangouts only has 10 slots, 9 students, and 1 teacher. I figured that these are like the bonus things. These guys don't like. I figured like everybody knows I get pussy. They don't talk to girls. They don't read body language well. They can, because I had gone through all this shit with all these hoes. You know what I mean? Like for 33 years of my life.
Right.
And so I'm doing these Hangouts, and I realized every day, the questions are there and the people are showing up. And one of the guys was this dude who was working for the Department of Homeland Security in Miami, Florida, and was fucking Myron. He was like my first student that came through the program. Yeah. And this guy would hit me up every day, and he was learning so much from me.
So this is like an Avenger story.
It really is, man. I always tell Rolo, I'm the real godfather of the manosphere.
Oh, shit.
You know?
Somebody please clip that and send it to Rolo.
Send it to him, okay?
Good.
You know?
I'm going to see Rolo in Tahoe Sunday.
I'm sorry about that.
You're going to go and see the Clary, right?
No, I love them both. I love them both. Yeah, but, you know, the guys who come through my program change their lives, you know? Myron, you know, your interns here. I mean, everybody has, I call it the 6 degrees of MLD. You go through the manosphere, the 6 degrees, there's really 6 people away of tracing back to me. Somebody who I've helped or with their branding, their marketing, or making money, or overall increasing their YouTube visibility.
And you've grown
a lot.
You've got what? How many subs on YouTube?
Not much, dude. I only have like 22,000 subscribers.
But in that 22, we've talked about your ability to help those guys and exchange value for money in the money.
We're at 60,000 now. From there to now, we have 60,000 live stream viewers, and only 98 people watch me live on YouTube because they love to shadow ban. But don't worry, dude. We almost have more people watching live on Rumble. That's 67 people watching live now on Rumble. And shout out to my homie Maxi Out, Inigo, Guy Reacts, Wade Emery, and who else is Billy Huang, JES81, Lord Venom 83, V Litap. Shout out to all you homies out there that are supporting me on Rumble. Really appreciate you guys. Like I said, right now, like talking, because you can hear all these trials and tribulations. You got the guys. Let me just tell you something. You're hearing all these stories and all this shit that I'm going through in my story here with Justin, right? Guys, I'm still going through shit now. It doesn't stop. You just learn to solve shit at a higher level and a better level. Sometimes you guys, you're in the thick of it and you can't, like, you feel like that's it. Like, it's game over. My life is over. I'm totally wrecked. I can never recover from this girl. I can never recover from getting fat. I can never recover from this money I've lost. You just think you're just in the thick of it. But as long as you are focusing on the core four, money, muscles, game frame, and you have a plan and a vision to get you out of your situation and to get to you where you want to be, doesn't matter. If you have a plan and you stick to it and you work at it every single day and you optimize, you will get out of it. It's inevitable. It's literally hard to, it's like, you're gonna have to work to fail. You know what I mean? You got to understand that, Morgan, did you follow me on Instagram? I feel like I sent you a DM because I was like, is this Morgan from fucking the YouTube lives? But anyways, it's either you or some fake account. Either way, you are a certified hottie. Good for you. Please send me your single hot friends who look like you that are in age range of 22 to 26 oldest. Daddy's looking to make some white babies. But yeah, going back to, like I said, like you're as a man, like the problems never stop. You never get to this mythical point where the problems stop. You just get more adept at solving these problems. That's the biggest thing. That's the big difference there. And then as you grow, new level, new devil. As you grow, you're gonna get higher level problems, and it is what it is. That's one thing. So just so you know, like this shit that I went through when I'm talking about here, I'm still going through growing pains now, right? Another thing is, like, I'm dealing with the fucking shadow banning. Like, dude, before I got the timeout, the average attendance on this channel would be up in 200, 250. So either people don't find this content valuable for some reason, and it's like not worthy, and that's why we're only at like 90 live stream viewers. But I find that hard to believe because we're at like fucking 71 live stream viewers right now on Rumble, and I have like just under 500 subs over there. So the shadow banning is real, and we just got to figure out a way to defeat the shadow banning. And a big part of that is the Telegram alerts channel. So click that link in the live chat right there, and you're going to get an alert. And make sure you clean up your Telegram. You're not going to get these alerts if your Telegram is just going off every 5 seconds. Go into the group chats, mute them, keep the Telegram for me unmuted, leave some chats, get out of the shit so you're not fucking, your brain's not fried, your dopamine receptors are screwed up. And that's a good way we can actually make it happen for you to get alerts and know exactly when I'm going live here. Okay. So here we go. Let's go back to the episode.
Has been very good to you in that way.
Yeah, I'm really good at what I do.
Yeah,
I'm really good at what I do. I think everybody who comes through my training program, I mean, Miami is full of dudes who come through my training program. Like, these guys, fucking Josh over there, Sam, Myron, Sterling came to me for marketing advice, and I got him really sorted out in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Right. Actually, Sterling, I would say the reason that you and I are friends, this is just complete transparency. Me and the Pace were friends first, before I knew you.
Yeah.
For that reason, I probably would not have fucked with you if it wasn't for the fact that Sterling said you were a good human. And I think what happened between you and the Pace was like happenstance, in all fairness. But Sterling really, really, really said that you were absolute gold and pivotal in his ability. Because I've seen Sterling make $20,000 in a fucking week.
Yeah.
And he said you had a big part of that. And so it's
real Godfather.
Yeah, well, hey, take that Rolo. Take that Rolo. And real Godfather. I personally think like all the beef in the space is fucking gay.
I don't have beef.
No, I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
I don't have
so
beef.
like for me, like If it like
Super.
anybody, like I don't have time to be mad at people, you know what I'm saying? Like, and fight back and forth. It would have to be really bad for me not to, you know, work with somebody. But I'll tell you this, Sterling has said nothing but you have helped his career in every way and you're absolute gold.
Yeah, man. No, and I appreciate Sterling. You know, I think he's a great guy. You know,
Oh, he is.
he's a fantastic person.
Sterling Cooper is on that. Bro, Sterling Cooper is a great fucking human being.
Yes.
He's got a great heart. And he very much has a story of from this guy to Sterling Cooper.
Yeah.
Original name John Doe turned into Sterling Cooper. And it's very admirable. But I'm going to tell you, man, if you ask Sterling about John MLD, he'll tell you flat out. It's a huge part of how he freed himself from the Matrix. And he lives like he lives today. Man, kudos to you because I have nothing. That's his room.
Yeah.
Fucking the computer sitting on his sex dungeon saddle thing, whatever the fuck he's doing. You know, right there. I mean, clearly that's a sex entry.
Sterling helped me with my bedroom performance issues I had.
Yeah.
You know?
So for that, man, I can't help but love you. You know,
Thank you.
Because I love Sterling so much.
I felt so bad when I met you because the first day I was just such a bad mood because I just got off the flight to Tokyo and I was just like dragging there.
Yeah.
And I was like, Sterling, why are you bringing this fucking offensively good looking guy around us, making us all look bad? Like, you know, and I just thought you were like a big oaf of a good looking guy. Like, I don't know, you were like cripplingly successful. Like, you know, I just thought you were just, like, I was just like, I don't know this guy, but you were just so nice to me. I was like,
why wouldn't I be?
well, you know, I was just so used to like, when you do what I do, right? You meet a lot of people who come to you who are a bad mental place. And sometimes they're mean to you and stuff. We have a bunch of crazies that came through the program. You know, the Fred Pill, like, you know, Danny, we had a bunch of, you know, we had a bunch of.
You know what's funny? That dinner, because it was a dinner.
Moxie's.
It was Moxie's. It was Sterling Cooper, you, my guy from Louisiana, Rollo Tomasi, Myron Gaines, Fresh.
Yep.
Harry Zikos was there. Shout out to NYC. A lot of guys at that table. And that seems like 100 years ago, but it really was no more than a year ago.
Yeah. June.
Yeah. So super interesting time, certainly for me. And you had your shades on the table.
Yeah. I was donezo.
Yeah, you were super cool in it.
I was donezo. I was jet lagged. I remember because it was so bad. That's why now, like I said, when I come over here, no alcohol, no food, no sleep, just drink water fast and get here. You know,
that's incredible, man. I would thank you for Sterling, but I'm sure he's done it enough. It's very clear that you took a lot of bangs on the way to becoming John MLD.
Yeah.
So now I think the only thing to do is open up the chats and see what these guys have to ask. What guys fire away at John? Anything that he can answer, I can answer. Let's do it. Pablo.
All right, Trevor from Canada.
So that's basically it right there. That is the whole friggin' interview there. This was a viewer request where they wanted me to kind of do a breakdown of this. And so, that's the story. And so, you know, you can see parallels there in between two guys from two different walks of life, but who kind of took the red pill, kind of understood the truth about, you know, dating, sex, relationships, and all that stuff, and really ran with it. And that's what I did. And, you know, the thing is this too. Let me just give you guys a look behind the curtain, if you will. Okay. When it comes to being successful, okay, you don't get to the point where you're just done. Okay. It is an ever-growing, everlasting grind and ever-growing, everlasting, you know, climb to the top, if you will. And you just have to keep on putting in the work. Like right now, you know, I'm, you know, not in the ideal studio, not with the ideal equipment around me. A lot of things are just not ideal at this moment, but nobody cares. I'm a man, and we just have to evolve, adapt, and overcome. And then, you know, in 3 to 5 years, I'm going to be doing something even greater here on this channel. This channel is not like, I'm not going away anywhere. I am staying in the game. I am going to be a hardcore, long-term voice here, and I'm going to continue to help men get what they want. I'm going to continue to help guys out with achieving their goals, their success, and their dreams. So, again, on December 29th, the Masculine Empowerment Network is going live. Go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com if you're a guy that really wants to just turn your life around and learn from a guy like me who really didn't have an easy upbringing, didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth, none of that. Go to masculineempowermentnetwork.com, put your email address in here, click here, get on the waiting list, and you will be sorted. Now, it's that time.
Let's get ready to rumble.
We're going over We're going over to Rumble. Let me tell you something. I got something good and cooking for you on Rumble. Okay. And the link is there in the chat. Mods, hit it up. Okay. Go to Rumble right now. We are getting off of YouTube this very moment. Peace.